The person on the phone says, the charter ship that left Venice is being targeted. It carries salaries for the mine bank. Is that all? Asked Porco. The caller first sounds a bit reluctant to answer, but tells him that there are also young female students who are on a vacation tour on board. Porco smirks and says, well, you gotta pay me more then. He looks so delighted. He was waiting for him to say it, apparently. There is a reason why Porco was fully geared up with his combat uniform, tie, and gloves, and champagne. Actually, there are a few reasons. For example, there might have been a spy among Mama Yuto, and he was informed about this attack beforehand. Second possibility, he was intercepting SOS radio calls. So, he knew from the moment when the charter ship sent SOS from Venice. Third, some affiliate of Porco's was inside the organization that requested for an attack. Fourth, he knew that a group as stupid and poor as Mama Yuto would plan an attack soon. Well, these are the standard possibilities you could think of, but here's my theory. This charter ship carries a huge amount of money. I mean, they are salaries for the mine company. It is a huge amount of money, and of course, the female students. Porco presumes that they are female students from universities, considering that they are on vacation. He knew they were on the ship, and that the ship would be targeted by Mama Yuto. A ship carrying a huge amount of money, plus the girls. Why wouldn't they attack? Of course they would. So, he gets fully geared up to be ready to attack as soon as they call. Just get rid of Mama Yuto fast and save the girls, who will be impressed by this amazing gentleman who saved their lives. He'll then say, this is our hiding place. Let's make a toast, just the two of us. I think that's what he was planning. And that's why this towel here, now you know what I mean. It's there for that particular reason. Otherwise, it's totally redundant. Why does he need it there? I mean, he's sitting on a deck chair. So the champagne is for toasting after destroying the sky pirates. The girl would say, the beach here is so beautiful, and your secret base is so amazing. I want to take off my clothes and sunbathe. Oh, what a coincidence. There's a towel here. That's what he had in mind. So, when you think about all these things, the other scenes turn into something different. If I think about those things, well, I first thought that this small boat was there for him to use when the seaplane wasn't working, so he could go and get help. But I think it was intentionally pulled up on the beach for a girl. He'd say, the stars are amazing here, and keep her till night. And when you look at the background, there's a house with a window and a door. Did you all notice? There's a house inside Porco's secret base. Which one is the best? Maybe this. This one. This one is the best, I guess. So there's a house with a window and a door. Now then, why a tent when he already has a house? That's because he doesn't want the girls to see his filthy house. So, he prepared a tent and a kerosene lamp to make it romantic. But they were eventually used by Fio Piccolo. Poor guy. That's the real story behind the scene. What I mean by this is the real story is that before Miyazaki even made this film, he drew a manga in a model magazine called Hiko Teijidai, meaning the era of a seaplane, which is the basis of this film. In that manga, right from the outset, Mama Yuto kidnaps a beautiful girl like Clarice in the castle of Cagliostro, apparently a university student. So, Porco goes and rescues the girl who has been kidnapped. Then, he happens to pass a sightseeing airship. And the airship happens to be carrying many young girls. As he passes the airship, the young girls all cheer and say, "Look, it's a pig, he's so cute." But Porco responds calmly by saying, "The whole airship might be kidnapped if you don't be careful." And he blows a kiss. You can see a heart drawn here, so he blows a kiss. The girls say, "He's so cool." And Porco says, "Yeah, was his reply. As you can see, the whole scene, it's like a skit of a famous Japanese comedian, Ken Shimura. This was Miyazaki's original plan, an anime to heal the middle-aged man whose brain cells had turned into a tofu. And this sequence is exactly that. It was as simple as that, but the story became more and more serious, and the characters became so complex that it turned into a totally different thing. But you can sense his initial plan throughout the first 10 minutes to 15 minutes, which is called part A. So that's why this opening is the best part. But there's more. After he goes, "Hey." Sorry, I just love this part, you know? I'm sure people will attack me online for this. So finally, Porco Rosso rescues this beautiful girl, but this girl, who had dived into the sea, was completely soaked, so he was worried. In the upper frame, he says, "I don't mean this in a lecherous way, but you are soaked and you should take off your clothes. Hang them under the wings and the Adriatic sunshine will dry them instantly. You may be totally naked beneath the blanket, but I'm too busy repairing the engine to notice it." In the lower frame, he says, "Are they dry? Now, let me take you back to your parents. Oh, there's a problem. This seaplane is only for a single passenger. Why don't you sit on my lap? No choice. Go on now." Porco Rosso now has a beautiful girl who was naked just a few minutes ago on his lap and flies with the setting sun and the sea in the background. This is actually the ending. Isn't it great? In the film, however, who Porco rescues are not college girls, but a group of kindergartners. And because it wasn't something he expected, he gets disappointed and almost collapses, like in another Ken Shimura skit. This is the basic idea underlying the first 10 minutes. You'd imagine something with harmless laughs and some innuendo, but it's a total letdown at the end. It's like the greedy Ryotsu in the manga Kochikame, whose plans are upset. The first 10 minutes is made as a comedy anime. Middle-aged Porco gets caught up in his own fantasies and is let down by the unexpected results. Porco is just like Ryotsu in Kochikame. He too is portrayed as a complete lecherous old man, but he doesn't get the girl. He freezes once he gets the opportunity. So he's similar to Ryotsu in many ways. And when Fio suddenly takes off her clothes and says, "I'm going to swim," he can't even say, "Don't do it." He just says, "Ah, look," and just freezes. This scene where Fio suddenly takes off her clothes and swims is a kind of repetition of a scene in the first 10 minutes where a girl swims naked. It is like retrieving a hint that was thrown in. Porco is basically a horny pig who is constantly fancying girls. But when Fio actually takes off her clothes, he fidgets and thinks, "Oh Christ, no," not knowing what to do. So he is like a naive virgin boy. Because of the advertising slogan, "Cool, personified,"